Draw looms after Bohannon 170. Josh Bohannon put on a fine display of batting amid gloomy and overcast conditions in response to Warwickshire's first innings knock of 371. He and Wells put on almost 100 for the second wicket, the hosts in battling mood heading into the third day at Emirates Old Trafford. The conditions hadn't changed when Wells and Bohannon returned to the middle, and this time Warwickshire took advantage. The partnership up to 100, but separated soon after. Wells bowled by a doozy from Norwell, 5 shy of a 50. Villas joined Bohannon at the crease, and the early Bears' success dried up. The third wicket duo picking up the baton from the departing Wells and continuing to tick their way towards the first innings total. They were worth 50 off 75 balls, Bohannon now chasing 100, and Villas too looking good for a personal milestone. Bohannon moved to the cusp of his ton with a booming 6 off Yates, and then sealed his century in the next over. A punch of the air in celebration as he found the gap for 2. The knock came off 201 balls. Villas wasn't far behind. More punishment for Rhodes, a big 6 taking him to his 50 off 65 balls. They were still there at lunch, the score 215 for 2, and the deficit now just 156. Once again, the start of a session brought the wicket Warwickshire wanted. Villas well taken in the slips for 67, Norwell with a third. And there was a second in the over, Rob Jones' innings lasting just 2 balls before he was out LBW. Livingston was his 5th, the score to within 100 of the Bears' total when he left one, Norwell with every wicket so far. That's when Craig Miles decided enough was enough and wanted a bit of the action too. George Lavelle out LBW for 4, Warwickshire finding some momentum now. But try as they might, they couldn't derail Bohannon, and with a well-run 3 off Holder, he converted his ton into 150, now the highest score of the match. Coming off 288 balls, it was the second time he'd reached the mark in his first-class career. Danny Lamb had a front row seat, but he wouldn't be able to stick around. Out for 8 off 35, bowled brilliantly by Briggs. Bailey stuck with Bohannon through to tea, Lancashire now just 54 behind their visitors. But the Lancashire bowler didn't last long after tea. Another for Briggs, caught behind for 8. Mahmood joined Bohannon, but just how far could the number 3 get? The answer, 170. An innings of real class finally brought to an end by Briggs. Bohannon down the pitch, but stumped by Burgess, 4 short of his career best. Norwell was a fitting bowler to wrap up the innings. Parkinson trapped in front for 3, his 6th of the innings, and Lancashire were all out for 341. They were 30 behind Warwickshire, but that was starting to look academic. Josh Bohannon will take all the plaudits, and rightly so. He'd been ably supported throughout his knock by Villas and Wells, but his 170 had sparkled amid the Manchester gloom. Briggs had impressed later in the innings, but Norwell had been the pick with 6 for 57. It would be a tricky start to the Bears' second innings. Yates again unable to get out of single digits, Mahmood sending his off-stump cartwheeling with a lightning bolt of a delivery. From there though, Warwickshire recovered. Sibley and Benjamin found their feet and ticked the score along nicely as shadows started to lengthen across the Emirates Old Trafford outfield. They'd stroll off in the evening light with the score 52 for 1. The lead extended to 82, but with 9 wickets left and this match only just into the third innings, barring something spectacular on the final day, this one looks to be heading for a draw.